we're kind of back on the chair again. I hope that you can see both of us. It's springtime. We've gone from winter to springtime to craziness to probably by noon there'll be so much hanging, clinging snow that we will have a hard time sliding without pain. So what we're going to try to do is to demonstrate something in the world of turning. So in the world of turning, skis, snowboards, whatever, turning, we have what we call short radius turns, medium radius, long radius. For those of you who don't subscribe, we'll describe it real quick. Short radius, the width of 1 groomer pass. Medium radius, 1.5 groomers width. This is kind of standardized throughout the industry for teaching. And at least 2 groomers wide for large radius turns. All right, so Ted's going to really quickly kind of tell you what kind of actions and movements are required for the short radius turns.
Short radius turn, at my particular ride, I'm twisting. It's a twist, so the toe edge will go first, then the heel edge follows, and then you come around on your turn, and then vice versa to do the heel edge. And then and it's a quick turn. It's much faster because you're in a narrower corridor.
So overall, the body motions and the movements are quicker, more activity,
more dynamic,
and more dynamic and fast moving.
Yep.
You're working.
Yep. And there's rise and fall. There's flexion extension, rise and fall.
Yeah.
And there's a slight rotation going on in the hip. Actually, it's called circumduction, but that's going on.
That's very complicated.
That's complicated. That's going somewhere else.
All right, so medium
it's
radius.
A word, though. Come on.
Medium radius. Can you just say that it picks up another half? If we call it 1.5 groomer width, it picks up a speed that's about half, 1.5. So I'm not as active, but I'm active.
Yeah.
So I could do twisted turns, which are sequential, or I could do simultaneous turns by slowing down the entire activity.
And tipping the board.
Yeah, you're tipping it a little bit more, but not necessarily. You could be tipping a lot in the short radius too.
Well,
so the biggest mistake people make that we see learning to carve is they take those fast activities that we're talking about and then they try to carve the board. So what you want to actually do on the carves is become a little bit more passive and not so aggressive and let the board develop its own side cut, twist, bend, fore and aft, and ride through without overdoing any one portion, particularly the beginning portion, the top third, because that will cause a skid and you'll come off your pencil line and you'll work a lot harder. So if you really want to carve, get on something kind of mellow, let yourself open up the turns, don't tighten them up, and let yourself build a little speed that you're comfortable with and have a great day. So we're going to try to show that on our rundown.
All right.
Okay, so we were talking on the chair about the activities. This is medium radius turns basically in here. You can still see that I'm leaning in, crossing over the board. The board goes flat. I lean over to the right side of the board and I work it around medium radius. As I get into the shorter radius turns at the bottom of this, you'll see a lot more activity. There's a lot more leg work. I'm still crossing over the board, right side, left side. All the things that have to happen. It's just more rapid. And that's what we were talking about in the chair. As we get to the long radius turns, things will slow down. Continuing with the conversation that was on the chair, and that is, I want you to follow Ted across here and see that it's much more subtle on the long radius carving type drills. Following his track, come to the middle of the turn. Here he is on the heel side. Slowly transfers over to the right, lets the board develop a turn, and then rides through. This is what we're talking about when you're trying to learn to carve. Instead of jamming that board at the transition, boom, and throwing it downhill, we let the board develop a turn and have a nice day, and that's called snowboarding. you guys like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification button, and if you like it, hit the like button. We're getting short to the end of the season. It's been a lot of fun. Stay with us and keep shredding ahead.